Hi everyone, this is Dave AC, and this time it really is vblog 017. Sorry, I made a mistake last week, called it 107 and it was 106. And here we are in the Remembrance week. Today is Friday the 14th of November 2008. We've just had the week where the laying of the wreaths at the cenotaph, and basically although I would try and lighten the mood a bit, if you don't mind me doing that, mixing with those war memories. You could argue that this one's subtitle: Wars, Survival, Remembrance, Hope and Discovery. Oh, and a wine at the end. Yes, it's been the remembrance of the war, and that's going to be a bit of a theme throughout today's show. And I just wanted to mention the three great chaps that were there at the cenotaph, surviving members from the First World War, and I want to just mention their names. I just want to make sure I get them right, so checking down here. It's Henry Allingham, Harry Patch and Bill Stone, aged 112, 110 and 108, and they still believe that we should remember these people so it doesn't happen again. But of course, as you'll see from the thing, it's happened before and it happened after the First World War. But let's just go to some news. Not much Doctor Who news today, although there are mentions of it relating to some of the items. Firstly, CIA, I always like to mention that, sister Podshock to Doctor Who Podshock. And although they only talk about Doctor Who related stories and Torchwood and Sarah Jane and so on, we at CIA, which stands for Cult Domain Audio, talk about lots of cult programs. And this Sunday that's just gone, we did about parallel universes. Now, well, I think it went quite well, but it's it's an infinite subject, isn't it? Infinite number of parallel universes. We could have talked infinitely long, and so in some ways it was a little bit unsatisfying in the fact that, we could just have carried on talking. But don't let me stop you from going back and checking it out, either from the TalkShoe page or just subscribe to it. You can find it with a quick search on iTunes. And if you like what you've heard and you've listened to past ones, why not try and join us this coming Sunday? Now, we're moving away from science fiction mainly this coming Sunday because we're doing British comedy culture. Now, that will probably most likely be talking about all the comedy series, from Red Dwarf and humour, maybe even Dad's Army and all sorts of British, Fawlty Towers. Stuff that butterflies, lots of classic stuff there, Porridge, excellent stuff. So I won't say anything more other than try and join us, or if you can't make it, please listen into it. And just talking, I'll stick to the other science fiction related news. Sarah Jane Adventures is getting really exciting and is coming to an end. And although I won't give a spoiler here, the UK big magazine, the Listings magazine, Radio Times, has got a pretty big spoiler on its next front page because it shows Sarah Jane meeting an old and distinguished friend of hers, and that's all I'll say. As the Sarah Jane Adventures, 5 stories there are, 10 episodes, and as we get towards the end of that. So do try and watch it if you can. Being absolutely marvellous. Merlin also coming to an end, and that's got better as it's gone on. The last 2 stories in particular I've really enjoyed, and I believe the last episode of that is coming up this coming weekend. Also, some bit of news about Primeval. We've had 2 very short series of Primeval. First was 6 episodes, second was only 7, and the third series is now in the can. And they are doing the CGI work on that at the moment. But there was an announcement made that even though they haven't aired Series 3 yet, there is a very strong belief, hope that there will be a Series 4. So that is excellent news as far as I'm concerned, so because I enjoy it. And one other piece of news is a new series starts on BBC One this coming Sunday. That's the 23rd of November, 9 p.m. and it's a reworking of The Survivors, which was a series in the 1970s. And there are two of the Doctor Who alumni in that. Freema Agyeman, who played Martha Jones, is going to be in it. And David Grant, who played Rose's father, is also going to be in it. So that is great. By the way, Freema Agyeman is in Little Dorrit at the moment. If you want to catch that, that's an excellent British drama that's on at the moment. But yeah, lots of good, exciting stuff. And of course, we've got the Doctor Who, first of the 5 specials that we've heard talked about, going out on Christmas Day. The Next Doctor, it's called, and I've mentioned that before. So really getting exciting with these things. And let me see. Oh yes, the theme. Getting back to the war theme. Well, Survivors. There we are. That was part of it. I'm going to have the music recommendation next, and this. It's a CD, but the reason that I love it was, and the cover is the same. I'll show you the artwork. It's the same cover as it had on the LP version of this, which was the very first classical CD I bought. I think the first CD I bought, well, LP I bought was, I think it was Oklahoma. I used to love musicals. South Pacific, Oklahoma, 7 Brides for 7 Brothers. But I think it was Oklahoma was the first one. But the first classical one I bought was the 1812 Overture, which is to celebrate Russia's defeat of Napoleon. And let's see if we can hear a short clip of that. It is. I'll let you listen. Sorry, I'll have to stop that there. It really is truly one of the Mercury Living Presence transfers to CD. And just one word of warning, there are real cannons fired during the course of this. So if you have your speakers on at any sort of volume and you get to the cannons section, just be careful, you might just blow your speakers. But really, that is truly a marvellous production. Until Dorat, Minneapolis Symphony Orchestra with bronze cannon. Oh, and the bells, the bells sound absolutely marvellous in it. The victory bells, of course, that come right near the end. So that's from an earlier war. I've talked about World War War and Remembrance, you know, the 11th hour of the 11th day of the 11th month from the end of the First World War, 1914-18 war. That's from 1812. My DVD recommendation is a war-related one, and it's the Band of Brothers box set. Now, I wanted to talk about this one because I was out this last week and I've noticed that it is now available on Blu-ray. I'd love to get that, but the money, I mean, I've said that before, haven't I? I've got a bookcase here with lots of DVDs and some Blu-rays now, and it all adds up. But anyway, it really is a marvellous story. Follows during the Second World War, Easy Company, all the way, including a part where they go to the Adolf Hitler's Eagle's Nest. And the standout actor for me, and I mean David Schwimmer's in it and a few other famous names, but the standout actor for me is Damian Lewis, who's in this, and he absolutely totally made his mark in the acting world in this. It was absolutely standout performance. Damian Lewis, brilliant, worth watching for that alone. And I do highly recommend that if you are a person who has a high definition TV and player. Hold out and get the Blu-ray version. The fact that I've got this, I may still go for the Blu-ray version when it comes to a reasonable price. I'm going to go on about books. Didn't do a book last week because I was catching up reading the end of it myself. And this book, well, I'll tell you how much I love it. I've got 2 copies of it. I thought I'd lost my copy a few years back, so I found another copy in a second-hand shop. So it's George R. Stewart, Earth Abides, and this links in again with our war and survivors theme, because this is a story about the Earth after the world had died. Let me read a little bit about it. He came down from the mountains and stopped at the first town. Nobody was there. The houses, the shops, the streets were all empty. Only the dogs roamed the town, foraging for food. Reminded of a Will Smith movie? I Am Legend, maybe? He drove on through the cities and villages of America, and he found there was no one there. The continent had become one huge ghost town. Except for the dogs and the rats, the world had died. Man must begin again. And on this other one, it just says a little bit more. It tells the death of civilization and the brave new race that emerges, stronger, self-reliant and primitive. This is the story of Isherwood Williams and a small handful like him who rise from the ashes of a destroyed world and begin again. So, survival, survivors. Really do recommend that. I'm not too sure if it's in print, although Victor Golan's have been reprinting quite a lot of the old classic science fiction. And oh, we're getting on quite nicely now, aren't we? So that's my music, my book, my DVDs, gadgets. Well, not really gadgets this time, but how time flies. I mean, here we are up to number 7. I've been doing this 17 weeks and I've still not got the hang of it, as you can tell. But my TV, one of the first things I've mentioned in this is my high definition TV, my Toshiba 42Z3030 high definition TV. Look at this. He is now 1 year old. If you want to keep it in guarantee, extend your guarantee. Well, and this is not a rant against Toshiba. I love my TV, but I thought, oh, 12-month repair protection from as little as £40. That's what, $70. Thought that's worth it. Then of course I read the small print, and for a TV the size of mine, I don't suppose you can read that, it's £130 a year. That's nearly $200 a year. So I'm going to take my chances. I do have a feeling with a lot of technological stuff, they either fail pretty early on because they've actually been a manufacturing fault, or they actually pretty much do survive the 5-year life expectancy that they are. Unless, of course, you buy a no-name brand which seems to only last the 12-month warranty and then just fall over on you. So it's not really a gadget, is it? But it just shows you. I mean, I've got 10, 15, 20 gadgets. If I took an insurance policy out on each of them, I'd be paying out a fortune. Right, what's my next gadget? Well, my next gadget is actually related to my wine. It's the first time I bought a wine in one of these. Now, I've bought wine in the big 3-litre boxes, but the big 3-litre boxes have like a foil interior bag that as you take the wine out, that collapses under air pressure and the wine doesn't meet the air until it comes out. So it can stay fresh for 2, 3, up to 4 weeks. This is just a box that when you open it up, it's open to the element. I poured some out, by the way, so it doesn't matter about me doing this. You can apparently, when you've taken the first couple of glasses out, squeeze it a little bit till the wine comes to the top, and then fasten it, and it will stay slightly squeezed. So that will mean that you can probably keep this and drink it for 3 or 4 days, where a bottle of wine that's open to the air you might only drink for a couple of days. Anyway, what is it? Well, it's what I'm told by my friend Ian in the States. Hi Ian. Banrock Station is a sort of modestly priced range of wines. Now, this was actually just over £6, which is about $10 now. That's about €8. But why did I get it? Well, first of all, I wanted to see as a gadget whether having the wine in a box like this affected the taste. And secondly, you get 1 litre, where in a bottle of wine there is 750 millilitres, 75 centilitres. So you get basically another quarter, so you get a full litre, not 3/4 of a litre. So that's for the same price as you would have paid for the bottle. So that's the idea behind it. Also, it's very useful if you're going to go out on picnics, or if you're having a summer barbecue, and it's safe, of course. There's no glass, and you can dispose of it in some wastebasket. So it protects the environment, it says. Eco-friendly convenience. Wine you can take anywhere. So this is Australian Shiraz 2006, Banrock Station, and let's see, oh, recyclable. So here's a little wine. It's a lovely colour, a very, very fruity, blackcurranty, beautifully fruit-forward aromas. Very, very appealing. Oh, that is dark cherry rather than black. It's almost going to licorice. I mean, it's and slightly chocolatey, but that is mostly dark berries, dark cherries, blackcurrant. That is a lovely, because I mean Shiraz is my preferred grape, and that is actually, I mean, that belies its modest price. I would say that is really quaffable, as we'd like to say. That is very nice, very pleasant, and good value to say you get 1 litre. So yes, I would recommend that. Yes, I would buy it again. Do I taste the box? No, I don't think I do. I don't think I do at all. I recommend that as an ordinary drink, not for celebrations, but as an everyday drink. Good value. Oh, and I'll finish with that. Oh, and while we're at it, the theme of this show has been wars, survival, whatever. Been in the wars myself. I don't think you noticed, but when I've done the show in my shirt sleeve, I had a little, like a little warty thing on my arm. Anyway, I got it caught with my sleeve a couple of days ago. Well, yesterday, here I am, kind of war wounded. It's a big plaster, that. It's only a little small thing. But the old doctor had to just whip it off. So there's my war wound for today. And with that, I'm going to have to say goodbye, send my leave, and this has been vblog 017 for real this time, and hopefully I'll catch you next week for vblog 18. Oh, and one last thing, I am now on Twitter, so if you go to it's just twitter.com/daveac. See you there. All right.